Your choices, growth, and healing don't require validation. Explaining yourself constantly weakens your energy and power. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe the world a detailed report on why you choose what you choose, why you feel what you feel, or why you decide to walk away from places and people that no longer serve your spirit. You are not here to make everyone comfortable with your growth, your pain, or your dreams. When you keep explaining yourself, you drain your energy convincing people who don't even want to understand you. You owe yourself the freedom to move without permission, to rise without apology, to change without validation. Every time you explain yourself, you tie yourself to someone else's approval, and that is the fastest way to shrink your own power. You must remember that your life is yours alone. Every experience, every heartbreak, every failure, every triumph has shaped you in ways no one else will ever fully know. So why give that precious story away for someone else to dissect and judge? The world will always have something to say. They will gossip, they will guess, they will project their fears and insecurities onto your choices. But if you keep pausing your journey to clarify your steps to them, you will never get anywhere worth going. You are meant to evolve, to explore, to transform without constant commentary. Growth is messy, healing is private, and dreams are sacred. Stop offering them up for public debate. Walk forward in silence and let your results speak. Let your light confuse those who didn't believe in your darkness. Let your peace disturb those who only knew you in chaos. Protect your magic because it is fragile in the hands of those who don't see its value. There will be moments when you feel misunderstood, when you crave for someone to just get it. But the real strength lies in knowing that the ones who truly matter will feel your soul without the need for explanations. When Priyanka Chopra stepped out onto the global stage, she carried with her the noise of countless opinions. People questioned her accent, her roles, her choices in love and work. But she chose to stop explaining and start living fully. That's her secret power. She believed that she was enough, just as she was. She let her work speak, her talent roar, her courage shine, and look where it took her. From small-town India to conquering Hollywood, from being judged to being celebrated. She teaches us that you don't have to announce every step or justify every pivot. You only need to keep showing up, again and again, for your own life. When you stop explaining, you make room for your true self to expand. You stop performing and start being. So today, choose yourself. Choose to walk away from conversations that demand explanations. Choose to protect your peace instead of defending your path. Choose to stay focused on the future you're building rather than the doubts others keep throwing at you. The most powerful people in this world are not the loudest. They are the most certain. They move like rivers, unstoppable, flowing forward without asking for permission to pass. Your story is yours. Your destiny is yours. Stop explaining and start living. You deserve to be seen for who you are, not for who they want you to explain yourself into being. Keep going. The right people will find you, understand you, love you, without a single word of justification. You don't owe anyone an explanation. This simple truth can change your entire life if you let it sink deep into your soul. From a young age, we are taught to please people, to make sure they understand us, to gain their approval. We grow up explaining why we did something, why we failed, why we chose a certain path, why we dared to dream bigger than our circumstances. But in doing so, we start to hand over our power piece by piece. The more we explain, the more we start living for others instead of ourselves. We start to measure our worth based on how well people accept our stories and decisions. This constant need to be understood becomes a prison, locking us into a cycle of self, doubt, and endless justification. When Priyanka Chopra says stop explaining yourself, she is telling you to take back your power. Your life is a personal journey meant to be lived on your own terms. You don't owe your family an explanation for moving to another city to follow your dreams. You don't owe your friends an explanation for why you ended a relationship that was breaking your spirit. You don't owe society an explanation for choosing a different path, whether it is about career, love, or lifestyle. The only person you owe anything to is yourself. You owe yourself honesty, courage, and the commitment to keep going no matter what others think. When you stop explaining yourself, you set yourself free from the opinions that chain you. You start to feel lighter because you are no longer carrying the heavy burden of everyone's expectations. You begin to trust yourself more deeply. You start to believe in your choices without needing someone else to validate them. And slowly, you step into a new kind of confidence. A confidence that shines quietly but powerfully. It's not loud or aggressive. It's calm, grounded, and unstoppable. People will notice it, and some might even be confused or threatened by it. But that's not your problem. Their inability to understand your journey is not your responsibility to fix. When you choose not to explain yourself, you reclaim your energy. You can now use that energy to build, to create, to love, to grow. You become more focused because your mind is no longer occupied with crafting the perfect story for others. You find more peace because you realize that not everyone is meant to understand you, and that's perfectly okay. In fact, it's a gift, because in that space you get to meet your true self. You get to understand what you really want, what truly makes you happy, and what feels right in your heart. So today, remember, you don't owe anyone an explanation. You are enough as you are. Walk forward in your truth without looking back, without asking for approval, and without explaining your soul's deepest whispers. That is where your true freedom begins. Let your actions speak. In a world that's always shouting for attention, defending itself, proving its worth through words, there is immense power in quiet strength. You don't have to explain yourself to be understood. You don't have to talk about what you're building, just build it. You don't need to tell the world your entire plan. Just move in silence and let the outcome speak for you. When Priyanka Chopra says let your actions speak, she means that true power is shown, not told. The strongest people are often the ones who don't say much. They simply do asterisk. They show up, they rise, they deliver again and again. Words can be powerful, but they are also cheap when not backed by real action. People say they support you until you actually start to win. People say they believe in you until you start to rise higher than they imagined. This is why actions matter more. Let your work talk for you. Let your consistency prove your dedication. Let your success be the loudest answer to those who doubted you. Don't waste your breath trying to convince anyone of your worth. Show them. Let your silence be louder than any explanation. Let your transformation be your revenge. When Priyanka stepped into Hollywood, people questioned her. They doubted whether an Indian actress could break through in a Western market. She didn't argue. She didn't post endless justifications. She simply delivered. One show, one film, one red carpet at a time. She let her actions speak. She became the face of global brands, a leading woman in American TV, a film producer, a tech investor, a UNICEF ambassador, a mother, a best-selling author. She moved with quiet focus, building her life without asking for permission. That's the energy you need to channel. Letting your actions speak also means being intentional with your silence. Not every opinion deserves a reaction. Not every insult needs a defense. Not every hater is worth your time. Protect your peace by staying focused on the real work, your healing, your growth, your grind. Every time you stop to explain yourself, you slow down your momentum. Stay locked in on your vision. When people see results, they will listen. And even if they don't, it doesn't matter, because you'll be too far ahead to hear their doubts. So stop posting your plans for validation. Stop explaining your every move for approval. Let your results walk into the room before you do. Let your presence carry the story. Let your achievements echo louder than your voice ever could. The people who matter will understand. The rest don't need to. Actions don't lie. They don't beg. They just asterisk our asterisk. And when you live like that, you become unstoppable. Let the world wonder how you did it. Let them feel the silence when they expected noise. Let your actions speak, and the right people will hear you. Clearly, deeply, and with respect. Asterisk, protect your peace and power. Asterisk asterisk, in today's noisy world, everyone has an opinion about who you should be, how you should live, what you should accept, and what you should leave behind. If you're not careful, you'll spend your entire life reacting to these opinions, explaining, defending, pleasing, adjusting. And while doing all that, you'll lose yourself, you'll lose your clarity, you'll lose your peace. That is why Priyanka Chopra's powerful message, "Stop explaining yourself," is deeply rooted in this truth: protect your peace and your power at all costs. Peace is not about living a life without chaos. It's about learning to guard your mind and heart from being disturbed by it. And that protection starts with boundaries, emotional boundaries, mental boundaries, time boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your dreams, or your energy. Some people want to know your story just so they can twist it. Some want to see your struggles not to support you, but to feed their curiosity. That's why you must learn to walk away without saying a word. Walk away from people who drain you. Walk away from conversations that try to bring you down. Walk away from environments that make you feel small. No explanation needed. Your power lies in your ability to choose what you focus on and what you ignore. And not everything deserves your focus. Not every invitation to argue deserves your RSVP. Not every challenge is worth your energy. Priyanka Chopra didn't rise to where she is today by explaining herself to every critic. She protected her energy by focusing on her mission, her vision, and her growth. When you're building a life that's authentic to you, not everyone will understand it, and that's okay. You weren't born to be understood by everyone. You were born to be real, bold, and aligned with your truth. Protecting your peace also means not allowing your past to define your future. Let go of the weight you carry for the sake of others. Let go of guilt, shame, and the need to keep proving yourself. You are not here to convince people that you're good enough. You already are. Every time you choose yourself, every time you stay silent instead of arguing, every time you rest instead of hustling just to prove a point, you're protecting your peace, you're honoring your power, and you're becoming stronger. Real power is quiet. It doesn't beg, it doesn't explain, it doesn't chase, it simply is. When you protect your peace, you become magnetic. You attract clarity. You attract opportunity. You attract people who respect your energy without needing to invade it. That's the life you deserve. One that's rooted in calm, driven by purpose, and free from the need to prove anything to anyone. In the end, life isn't about being understood by everyone. It's about understanding yourself so deeply that you no longer need outside approval to feel complete. When you stop explaining yourself, you step into a powerful freedom that allows you to move boldly, love deeply, and create fearlessly. You learn to let your actions speak for you and guard your energy like it's the most precious treasure you have, because it is. People will always have opinions, but their opinions aren't your responsibility. Your responsibility is to honor your path, trust your journey, and protect the peace that keeps your spirit alive. Live so fully and so authentically that you become unbothered by what others think or say. That is where your true power lives. Choose yourself, believe in your quiet strength, and move forward without apology. That's when you truly become unstoppable.